That's a good question. I had an uncle once who left Iraq many years ago to study engineering at the University of Bowling Green. I guess this made an impression on me. Who knows why we dream the things we dream? What is your dream about? A breakup? That's it? Ah, that's more like it. Who has been kidnapped? Who is this person that's been taken away from you? Do you have a photo? Who knows? Maybe I've seen her somewhere along this highway. I know her, the same woman, but with different hair color. I just saw her at the gas station a few miles back. An imposter? But she waits tables at Dante's, right? Betrayed by a friend. That's a familiar note to me. And yet, the waitresses at Dante's usually play it straight down the line. They can dish it out, but they only give you what you deserve. See, that was your first mistake. In this place, it's important to see things for what they really are. Keep them pinned down. The moment you start shifting things around to suit your needs, well, you're like Pandora, opening the box. She was standing with two men. It looked tense, like she was defensive about something, explaining herself. I don't think they fully believed her. One man was wearing an orange vest. He seemed to be in charge. Another shorter guy next to him, mean looking, like a shrew. A trap? So they were looking for you? Sounds like getting in my dream. Getting in the trunk may have saved your neck. No, I didn't get a look. I just heard one strange thing they said, that they were looking for a guy with 8 fingers. They were going to find him. Something like that. 8 fingers. Eight digits maybe. Uh-huh. And you wouldn't happen to have a strange blue box with you, would you? That was the other thing they mentioned. They have the key, but don't want the box opened. Well, if they were chasing you... Say, have you noticed how many tumbleweeds there are suddenly? I don't know, but the weather also seems to be turning suddenly. Turn on the radio and see if you can find a weather report. My God! Get that thing off the window! Get it off! Get it off! It seems to be changing the weather conditions.
Sunny sky. Sunny sky.
Dr. Zest, the Central Valley's favorite raisin cola, welcomes you to a daily hour of suspense and mystery. With baffling riddles and maddening...
Suddenly,
20 meters
it's
away,
sunny.
there's an old reptilian bus shedding a
It's
green
not
steam.
working. They're
Rusty
stuck to the
scales
car.
all
We
melted
need some
around
other
them.
kind of weather to get clear of
Billowing
them.
clouds of black smoke, a choking death rattle, and amongst the crowd milling at the door, a girl with long red hair turned level 3.
Work, play, and educate. And as we... media. Clearly our world continues to rely upon seamless, high-speed connectivity, and this trend will only accelerate as 5G adoption grows and novel usage cases emerge.
Level 3.
Warning,
Looks
tornado,
like tornado
60 feet from
conditions
car.
Look, the tornado. It's starting to pull the tumbleweeds off the car, but it's not strong enough.
Tornado, 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 warning. Warning, tornado, tornado 20 feet from car. Tornado, warning. Warning, tornado, tornado.
It worked. Oh, good riddance. Look, that was very strange, even for this place. And the eyes on those things. It seemed they were spying, searching for something. Did you notice? What do you know about these guys? The ones who are after you? Seems he had a few extra to spare for the tumbleweeds. I see. What else? Oh, let's see. Balkan tours? Not directly, no. But I've heard about them. From a guy in Istanbul I met. He had made it through to Europe, but then had come back to get his family. But that's another story. He had come across these Balkan tours on his way back from Serbia. He warned everyone about them who would listen. Apparently, they had a charitable program to help refugees, promising to have them. But no one who accepted their help was ever seen from again. People just disappeared. And it wasn't just people in the refugee community either. Tourists too. There were strange stories. I only heard bits and pieces, nothing very clear. Mirrors, rooms full of mirrors. People losing their minds and never coming back. Yes, people who were heading from Turkey into Croatia and Serbia were being warned about it. Watch out for mirrors. Rooms full of mirrors. Rooms full of ice. Well, my friend, I think right now the best thing you can do is run for safety. They probably have a good beat on your location, assuming the tumbleweeds were on their payroll. Make no mistake, these guys are dangerous. Well, we've all been in a dream we've wanted to wake up from, but couldn't, right? Let's just say there are people who thrive on that fear and have ways of keeping you from waking up. Exactly. What did you do to these guys anyway? Why you? Right. Where did you get the box? They must be worried about what's inside. Worried it will expose them, all the things they've done, to her and to all the other people they've hurt. I wish I knew. Even if I make it to my destination, I'm still not home. That's what it means to be an exile. My niece, Nadia, used to ask me that question all the time. Where are you going, Uncle? She was the only young person who knew I was leaving. Imagine, she knew when my father didn't. I was always mad at my sister for telling her. She would ask me that when I was putting her to bed. The only thing you can tell when a person that young asks you a question like that at bedtime. I told her the truth. Not the truth, but the truth wrapped in the blanket of a story. There's a place where the river Tigris runs through Baghdad. A place called the two-story bridge. When I was a kid, I would go fishing there and look out at the water and wonder where it all led. As a child, I was told that the farthest place on the earth from Baghdad is a place called Fiji. I would train my eyes on the horizon and imagine that all the water led there, to the point where the sky met the earth. To my child's mind, Fiji was the place where the sky touches the earth. These people of Fiji, they must be very tolerant people to live in such a place where one has to stoop over at all times and can never stand up straight. Eventually, they resolved to leave and find a new home, where the sky was farther from the earth, where the pandanus tree can grow high enough to be woven. So, they left this land right under the sky, leaving behind those people so old and bent that they no longer cared to stand up straight. The other Fijians gradually moved away from the edge of the world, and the sky got a little higher, and then they found a marvelous place. It was fertile and lush, with excellent weather, an orange tree for every backyard. But there was one problem: earthquakes. Terrible earthquakes, as frequent as rains during the springtime in this country. All because the sky was still close to the earth. When there's thunder, it echoes off the roof of the sky and causes the ground to break. But the Fijians adjusted. They built their entire civilization out of rubber. Rubber houses with rubber beds that would sway during the quakes, with rubber restraints that would hold the sleeping Fijians tight while they dreamed. But Nadia didn't want a bedtime story about that. She wanted a story about good and evil, the kind of story children like. So I changed it for her to be about a Fijian princess called Nadia, who finds the source of all the earthquakes. Yes, but it's a child's bedtime story. You can change the details as you go along. So, Nadia finds a dragon hiding under the earth. A dragon with a splinter in its toe, whose terrible roaring causes the earth to break. Nadia slays the dragon and saves the people by uttering a magic spell. Konothi se auton. Konothi se auton. It's actually Greek. Rolls right off the tongue, no? Okay, that was interesting. Can you say that again? All the mirror eyes closed. Seems like it. And look, that's not the spell's only power. The card. There's a phone number on it now. Do you know what this means? I think you're ready to make a certain phone call. Right, ready to put your spell to use? Good. Do you have a phone? Even better. So, here's the plan. You call them and tell them you want to sign up for a tour. Here's the thing. If they act like they're taking you on a tour, everything is good. But if they've figured you out, they'll try to distract you while they kidnap you. Take it from me. They tell you someone you care about is in danger. But don't believe it. If everything's fine, then everything's fine. But if someone you know is in danger, it's a trap. Get out of there. Are you ready? Dial the number.
can I help you with? That's a big park. You near the Argus gas station on Route 90? Alright, I'll pick you up in an hour. You don't have a car, do you? Just guess from your voice. So, see you in an hour. Don't worry about that. I'll be waiting for you once you land.
So, it worked then? I think you'll be fine. Just keep the spell close at hand. And remember, if they start telling you someone close had been hurt, it's a trap. Isn't that how these things normally work in the stories of this country? Other characters shows up, imparts some hard-earned wisdom, then conveniently fades away. It's a few minutes before 3:30 in Istanbul. There's another raft waiting. Another try. Thanks. To you too. I think you'll be fine. You have allies all along this road, even in the cars of enemies. I've left something for you.
Hey, sorry I haven't written in a while. Hey, sorry I haven't written in a while. It took me all morning just to figure out where to buy stamps here. So, I'm sending you something from my trip, like I promised. Last week, I was at yet another barbecue. People here really enjoy their pork chops, let me tell you. There was this old-timer there, the host's father. He was talking about inflation during the war years. He ran upstairs to get something he was excited to show me. He comes back down with a 50 billion dinar bill. He starts talking about, at the time they printed it, inflation was so bad that in the morning it could buy one sandwich. By lunchtime, it could buy half a sandwich. It's a beautiful piece of printing, don't you think? All these O's lined up next to each other. Anyway, keep it tucked away for safekeeping. The big piece of news on my end is that yesterday, I finally tackled my fear of heights. Your humble correspondent from the Balkans went hang gliding. Yes, me. Hard to believe, I know. I wasn't gonna do it, but this tour guide guy I met talked me into it, facing my fears and all that. But then the tour guide takes me to the hill where they do the hang gliding, and they're talking about the most crazy thing that happened the week before. You're not going to believe this. It's a tandem dive, so they have you strapped in with an instructor, right? Well, last week they strapped someone in, but the instructor forgot to strap himself in securely. They go running off the cliff and the instructor tumbles down the hill. The instructor was okay, just some bruises. But now the other person is stuck up in the air with no idea how to fly the thing. Everyone on the ground is freaking out, yelling instructions up in the air about what to do. The girl said later that once she got over the initial terror, it was like she'd been flying a hang glider all her life. It must have been exhilarating, conquering that first wave of fear. And once you're up there, it is amazing. The best thing is that you look down and there are these tiny white cotton ball things on the ground, and then you realize they're sheep. It's not so hard to steer either, once you get the hang of it. Today, when I was looking for stamps, I bought one of those inspirational refrigerator magnets in a tourist shop. It says, "Do one thing every day that scares you." I know you think this kind of thing is cheesy, but I actually think it's profound. I hope we can do stuff like this on our road trip together. Can we? Sometimes I hate how we live in Seattle, just sitting around in our own heads all the time. I feel like it's the reason we've been arguing more lately before I left. If you don't shake the fear out of your system on a regular basis, it curdles up into anger. I don't want to be angry. Well, time for your idealistic correspondent to sign off. I'm so used to writing emails that it hurts my hand to write a real letter now. How sad is that? But I promise to write more often. And what about you? I don't expect a real letter, but an email would be great. How is everything going? How did it go with that California assignment? The thing about grape farmers? That was this week, right? I miss you. I feel a little nervous about coming back home to you, but a little nervousness is nothing to worry about. That's what I've learned here. Fear is the mind killer. Love you.
Geez, there you are. Nice of you to grace us with your presence. I've been looking all over for you. You were supposed to be waiting by the post office, remember? Look, we've all got a lot on our minds since the accident. I don't have time to drive all over Mankato looking for you. Barely gotten any sleep since it happened. The tour, visiting hours are until 7, so yes, you'll get a chance to see her. Craig, sure, it's only because of him that I'm picking you up. Honestly, some of us weren't so happy about the idea of having you around in the hospital, but he made a good case for you in that altruistic way of his. Said, we're not here to pass judgment. What? Hang on. Shut up. This isn't just any kind of phone call. Yes. No. I know. No, he turned up eventually. Yeah, he's sitting right here. Do you want to talk to him? Should I put him on live with you? No, I didn't think so. Yes. Okay, I'll wait then. What? It's called a headset. It's a good way to not wreck your car while you're using a phone. Something I would think you'd be very invested in at this point. Look, it was an accident, I know. Sorry. But you just don't pull a phone out of someone's hand while they're behind the wheel. You should have known better.
Reporting to you from Mankato. For those of you heading south on I-169 on your commute,
Copernicus!
expect some delays around the
What?
Route 14 junction.
Don't say anything. He can't hear me. Only you can.
Should be prepared to
Listen,
switch over to the right.
don't say a word. Do you have that locked box? If you do, roll down the window as a sign.
14 looks good until you reach the exit at 13 south.
Hey,
A
do you
minor
mind?
vendor,
I'm
from
trying to
what
listen to
resulted
this.
From the poor visibility out there, has traffic
It's okay. You can close it now. No point in making him angry over nothing. Okay, good. You can't let these guys get a hold of that box. He may even have the key on him, this guy. They're taking you to her, but you have to be careful. You need to figure out how much they know.
You are traveling around that area. This is Sky
To the hospital.
KTOE.
Is this funny to you?
From Mankato.
because it's not to
For
me.
those of you heading south.
Do you really want to go there? You really want to talk about this? Now? Of all moments? Fine. Listen, I know that she wasn't honest with you, that she couldn't bring herself to be straightforward about her feeling. I know it hurts you, man, but you two'd been growing apart for a while. In the end, she just wanted to be with someone more dedicated. That's the direction she was growing in. It didn't happen overnight, but the trip to Europe and meeting Craig, yeah, that was a big part of it. Oh, is that what you tell yourself? That all this is somehow his fault? Fine, whatever. Yes, we're all working against you. Are you satisfied now? Because this is hardly the time to bring your hurt feelings out onto the stage. Can I tell you something? You're a great photographer, I mean, nobody doubts that, man. But at some point, if people keep screwing you over, keep betraying you, at a certain point, if everywhere you go, people keep being assholes to you, well, guess what? Maybe you're the asshole. The radio? Sure, go ahead.
Copernicus, there's no time to lose. You have to act quickly now, before he puts that helmet on again. Use this bell. Stop him.
What? Yeah, know thyself. That's what I'm talking about. Gnathi Seaton, Greek for know thyself. That's a good start. I know you've had a rough 24 hours, but we all have. I mean, she's my sister after all.
He's lying.
Hang on again, I gotta get this. Yeah, I'm here. We'll be there in just a few minutes. Yeah, he tried it just like we expected. No, I'm fine. Yeah, I agree. It's time to call his bluff.
Step on the brake. Stop him. Do it. Step on the brake.
Ah, what are you doing? Let go!
Here's a security deposit. I'm going away for 2 months. I'll be back before you know it. I wasn't gonna do it, but this tour guide guy I met talked me into it. So I'm sending you something from my trip, like I promised.
That was some argument.
You two came by my house, yes? See, that's my silo. There in the background. She thinks you've caused some kind of accident.
Visiting hours are until 7, so yes, you'll get a chance to see her.
She thinks you've caused some kind of accident.
Visiting hours are until 7, so yes, you'll get a chance to see her.
She thinks you've caused some kind of accident.
Visiting hours are until 7, so yes, you'll get a chance to see her.
I'm going away for 2 months. I'll be back before you know it. Here's a security deposit. I wasn't gonna do it, but this tour guide guy I met talked me into it. I'm going away for 2 months. I'll be back before you know it. Here's a security deposit. I wasn't gonna do it, but this tour guide... So, I'm sending you something from my trip, like I promised.
You two came by my house, yes? See, that's my silo, there in the background.
That was some argument.
Visiting hours are until 7, so yes, you'll get a chance to see her.
She thinks you've caused some kind of accident.
I'm going away for 2 months. Here's a security deposit. It's great, right? I'll send you something special from Europe to put inside. It's a beautiful piece of printing, don't you think? All these O's lined up next to each other.
The argument back at the diner, maybe there was something missing for her.
Visiting hours are until 7, so yes, you'll get a chance to see her. Visiting hours are until 7, so yes, you'll get a chance to see her.
She thinks you've caused some kind of accident.
Find the man with many eyes. They're the ones who did this to me. He has 10 eyes. He wears them around his wrist, like a bracelet.
Save me from this man. Help me. Save me from this man.
Oh, please, I think you flew into the bottle on purpose. What are you, the public defender to all things living?
Fireflies can't talk. Someone has to speak up for him. If the 6 tiny mittens don't fit, you must acquit.
Yeah, I'll set it free in a minute. I just think this light is incredible.
Let's keep him as our pet.
Now is being cruel. I think I'll always remember this.
This is one of those nights, right?
One of what nights?
We'll always have this. If you ever get to a point where you feel like you've lost me, all you have to do is find your way back to here and sit down beside me.
I hope the grass isn't so wet next time.
I'm serious. Write a note to your future self and put it in this bottle. If there's ever a point where things have gotten totally screwed up between us, that moment isn't real. This one is. All you have to do is find your way back to me.
What if I can't find the way?
That's why I've made you this beacon. A bottle with a green light to show you the way. Sense of direction isn't exactly your strong suit, Copernicus. Let's make a pact. With this honorable firefly as witness, I promise my screwed up future self won't mess this up for us.
I don't know. My future self can be a real jerk.
Mine too. We're going to make mistakes. Hurt each other. Everyone does it. So, time traveler, what news? What wisdom do you bring from the future?
that it's never too late, that any mistake can be fixed.
Good, if that's what you believe.